Yo, what is up, everyone? It's your boy 𝙎𝙎𝙆𝙎. I got my brother here with me. This is the double feature podcast, episode 1. We're going to try and record these every week. And hopefully we can get to a point where these are like live on the channel, premiering. But for, the first couple episodes, we don't know how long, but we're going to start off with just recording them, maybe a couple of edits, and then we can get to kind of holding the process for later, for whenever we want to put these live premiering on the channel. That way you guys can interact with us live one of these days. But we've got plenty of topics to talk about today.
Yes, we do.
I don't want this podcast to be like a 2-3 hour thing, so we're gonna try to get through these quick, but also giving some very in-depth responses to how we feel to some of these topics and some of this news that we're gonna bring up. And hopefully you guys can share yours in the comments below as well. That way we can all have different opinions, and that's what makes this not only industry but like this sphere really interesting. We can all have a bunch of different opinions on something, and that sometimes can make some people a little bit angry, but sometimes that can also make people realize stuff that they did not know before. But before we go ahead and jump into our first topics, we're gonna go ahead introduce ourselves. Obviously you guys know me, 𝙎𝙎𝙆𝙎. I ran this channel since I was like 13, did a lot of gaming content mostly, and I just transitioned it to movie content in 2020. So I'd say we definitely are growing at a great pace, but probably gonna need to be a bit more active. But I do stream. I'm very active on social media, mostly Twitter. Not active on Instagram at all, and I need to get back on the TikTok grind. But yeah, my name is 𝙎𝙎𝙆𝙎. You guys know me. I graphic design, I play video games live, and I also love movies. And say a bit about yourself, KJ.
Yeah, what's going on? Is KJ. For a lot of you guys that don't know, I have my own YouTube channel, but I'm probably gonna be pretty stationary on this one. You could see me at Vegas Baby KJ on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, even on YouTube. Again, I'm just here to share my knowledge, give some depth on some things, and see how you guys feel about it. I hope we could do some good things from here on. And yeah, man, let's get this shit. It's prime time. Let's fucking go.
So bro. I guess we're gonna start off the bat with just something that happened a month ago, or premiered a month ago, I should say, which is Black Adam. Black Adam, almost about a month ago it released, and we had a chance to see it. I don't think, well, actually I've watched it twice. I don't think my brother's seen it a second time, but
I've only watched it once.
Yeah, the last time we saw it was definitely when it came out. So I'm gonna let you give your thoughts on the movie, what you liked, what you didn't like, maybe what you would have wanted to see, or all of your knowledge and what you thought about the movie as a whole, and then I will right after.
Yeah, for sure. So what I thought about Black Adam, it's an entertaining movie. By no means is it, the best written movie on this planet. By no means is it, great performances all around the movie, but it's entertaining for sure. Me personally, it wasn't my forte, but would I watch it again? Yes, I would. There's just some convoluted things when it comes to the writing, some things that just don't really make sense. For one, I'm not really happy about the not the family, but mainly the kid. The kid is so annoying in this movie. I could not stand the kid. He's just running around while Black Adam like chases him. It makes zero sense to me. Intergang, they just say Intergang. They don't explain really much about Intergang. They don't tell us how they came to be, how they got there, what they're doing exactly. They kind of just say they're stripping us of our freedom, and yeah, that's kind of all we get. And also the JSA, where the fuck have you guys been? You guys have been like again, like they're kind of just shoehorned into this movie. They work, don't get me wrong, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, they work in this movie, but they do feel shoehorned. They do feel like something has been absent within the DC universe when it comes to the JSA. Also, when it comes to Black Adam's character, he has this very you could say a stoic approach. To me, he's a he's just boring as fuck. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like The Rock just makes this one like little face the entire movie, and you kind of have to take that as a sign as, yeah, he's bad. But even though like he's really just like bursting bad guys in this movie, he's not really, you know, being a threat to any of the good guys besides when he fights the JSA for a little bit. But even then, like it doesn't really feel, you're not really threatened. You don't feel like Hawkman or Dr. Fate are gonna die right now, because yeah, you just don't. Another con, the villain in this movie is probably one of like, it's
The most
probably like a top
forgettable.
3.
Like,
It's got to be top 3 worst
yeah.
movie villains ever. Like, I am not kidding, dog. The way that the villain came about was stupid, number one. And what caught me off guard in the beginning was the fact that the woman, I forgot her name. What was her name?
Who?
What's his name's mom? Why am I forgetting his
Well,
name?
I know the actress name is Sarah Shahi.
Yeah, her character.
Isis, I think that's her name.
Yeah,
Right?
I think so. So she was looking for this crown or something, and I guess there was some random dude who's been looking for this crown. What caught me off guard off rip is the fact that they make it known that it's kind of hard to find the crown, but she knows where the crown is off rip. And another thing is that the guy who's been looking for the crown like this entire time somehow just does not know where the crown is. Okay. And then once she gets the crown, it's like they just shimmy through a couple rocks, and like the crown's just sitting there like with the light from heaven shining down on it, like, please come take it. Then when she takes it, it feels very unnatural the way Black Adam comes to arrive, because she like takes it and people start chasing her. She runs around and shit. And then she gets to like Black Adam's little prison thing, and then, you know, says
I think she ran there
thing.
on purpose. On second viewing, it looked like she knew it was there and she went to go run there.
Okay, I mean, maybe, but to me that was
know.
just a little coincidental. But yeah, the action in this movie, well, when it comes to the cons, I would say those are what really bothered me, especially this shoehorned ass villain. The villain CGI looked like some PS3 shit sometimes too, bro. Like,
sometimes his face was really like
it was
jarring.
Weird. Then do not get me started with dude. It's like the cardinal sins when it comes to comic book movies: the fucking sky beam, and then the dead skeleton soldiers rising from the ground. Dude, I was ready to walk out the theater after that shit. Especially when Big Chungus is over here fucking smacking all these skeletons like he's some Street Fighter. Like, at that point, it's like no threat whatsoever. We're just being Green Lantern 2011 all over again. Like, I don't understand that.
Was that movie made in 2011?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Wow. It feels old.
I can't think of many other cons. I mean, I wish they would have dove a little bit deeper into Black Adam's story. It kind of felt a very like straightforward and one-dimensional. There was really no layers to his character whatsoever.
That's true, yeah.
I wish that Noah Centineo and why am I forgetting the Cyclone's name? What's her? Forgot.
Quintessa Swindell.
Yeah, Quintessa Swindell. Quintessa Swindell and Noah Centineo. I wish that they had some more screen time and got some more depth to their characters, because it kind of felt like they were just like, the JSA is in this movie and there's only 2 members, so let's add 2 more. So that it doesn't feel like a duo, it feels like the JSA, you know? Like, it's like, let's just drop them in there, and that's kind of what they did, honestly. Half of the time, the Atom was literally acting like he was just dropped into the movie, like, honestly. That's really all I got for the cons. I mean, other than the convoluted ass writing and the shit fucking humor in the movie, there's some
really funny parts of that.
I think I laughed like once or twice, but
I'm not gonna lie.
But I'm not gonna lie. I was just about to say
good.
That's one of the ones that was not funny to me at all. It was just an on-occurring joke, like, tell the man in black who sent you, and then like once like it built up like him saying it was like, okay, like, cool. Tell them the man in black sent you. Okay. So yeah, when it comes to the cons, honestly I could go on and on, but that's about like the main basis of my cons. When it comes to the pros, again, a lot of it is just going to be entertainment and action, because the action in this movie was good. I love the battle between Hawkman and Black Adam specifically in the little house or whatever. That battle was sick. I also love the beginning battle when Black Adam broke out the prison or whatever. That was sick. The way that they show his powers is it's pretty damn cool. Dr. Fate and Hawkman's character, I'm not gonna lie, I need to see him again. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm aware. Yes, both of them. Yeah. I'm aware Dr. Fate died, but Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate is, man, that is such a good casting. I mean,
that was perfection, man.
It's almost like your first time seeing Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and then you don't get to see him ever again. Like, honestly, like it sucks really bad because he is such a perfect casting for that role. Like, he was giving little bits and pieces of this script and just ran with it, like completely ran with it. Aldis Hodge's Hawkman, I fucking love him from the get-go. I fucking love Aldis Hodge. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
He's
sexy. Hard to not like.
I would not be mad if MCU was like, this is a very sexy black man, let's make him T'Challa. I would not be mad at them at all. Like, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, the way they presented Hawkman in this movie was pretty fucking cool because I've always known Hawkman, like from the Justice League animated series and stuff, to just be straight up just like not really the strongest, not the fact, like just mostly willpower, like not really crazy no crazy superpowers or nothing like Captain America, even though he has the willpower, but like just sheer willpower and just sheer strength, you know. So I love the way that they presented his character. That is about it when it comes to the pros for me. I mean, you could say nothing else. Yeah, no. That's about it for the pros for me. Honestly, if I was to like give this movie a rating out of 10, it would probably be like a 5.5 or closer to like a 6. It'd probably be like a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10. Yeah, very average movie, but you know, kind of still enjoyable. Yeah, the Superman cameo was pretty corny and dog shit as well. I didn't really care for that.
The dialogue in that entire thing was actually pretty whack.
Yeah. I wasn't
like, Jesus, even what Amanda Waller said was like, I don't even think she would say.
If you have ever wanted to witness a quiet theater, go to Black Adam and stay for the post-credit scene. I have never been in a theater so quiet to see Superman in my life.
But I think it's because it got leaked. I think everyone knew.
Completely.
Everyone knew.
Oh yeah, damn right, everyone knew. The Rock was
just giving it out. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, that's neither here or there. The movie was entertaining. To me, it's not even worth talking about. I would rewatch it, but it's not worth rewatching. You know what I mean? Like, I would rewatch it.
I get what you're saying.
But I'm not gonna literally
stay at home and be like, ooh, you know what I should turn on?
Let's watch Black Adam.
Adam.
Like, if the homies are like, hey, bro, I haven't watched Black Adam, I'll be like, oh, okay, we'll watch. But yeah, we're starting off the new DCU with the fucking banger. Yeah, let's go.
All right. Okay. Well, as for my thoughts, I would say, as for the criticisms, I think the plot and story are really lazy, and I think it has the same effect that I think. Now, I mean this in the most sincere way, because if you know me on Twitter, just in general, love me some Spidey. But my only real criticism of No Way Home was that the actual plot to set up everything was done very lazy so they can get to the real shit. And I feel like that was kind of Black Adam was they really didn't focus on story because I don't know what John Calepsera had in mind when he was directing this movie, but it really felt like he was really going for action. And so it feels like when he was actually starting to make the movie and wanted to set the plot up, he did it very lazy just to get to action. It kind of just reminds me of like most horror movies. It's like trash plot just to get to cool kills. And it's like, I feel like that's what Black Adam kind of did. Also, another weak point is like, I mean, I expect a movie with like a $200 million budget to have a lot better ADR. And the ADR was jarring sometimes, especially from that kid. It was really, especially in like, literally, we're not even like 5 minutes in the movie. And like the words that's coming out his mouth, he is not saying. And it's really off-putting. In general, I think the script was like super, super weak. Like, and I think, obviously, I think Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate had like the most work. Like, it seemed like his lines were clearly the most worked on or had the most thought. Yeah, because like I loved 𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁 in this movie as Hawkman, but even his script, his lines were like some of the most basic, bare bones.
Just kind of like,
and he carried, he carried the lines. Like, I was like, oh my God, he's heavy lifting this trash ass work right now. Like, not gonna lie. As for Dwayne Johnson, I mean, here's the thing. Okay, I know I'm not gonna expect him to have a hairpiece. No. Could he have had pointy ears? Yes. Like, I think that definitely could have been done. But I think we're at a point where Dwayne Johnson has been associated with Black Adam for so long that I really don't care, because he's kind of Black Adam at this point, where like everyone no one's casting anyone else. You know what I mean? Like, who, like, has anyone casted anyone else for Black Adam? So like, he kind of is at this point. He doesn't need to do much work, but I would appreciate some fucking pointy ears, maybe a lot more layers and depth and nuance to his fucking character, and like give him an accent. I thought even though he was speaking English when he got out, at least he was actually speaking, I don't know if it was Egyptian, but he was speaking a different language in the flashback. It confused me
so much that everybody in Kahndaq had an accent besides him.
Oh yeah, he also he spoke whatever language they spoke.
No, I know, but like
in the flashback,
why doesn't he have an accent?
And I think he at least, because maybe it's like a superhero thing that they just know what language to speak, or maybe even what we're watching isn't really English. I don't even know, but like what I'm saying is, like, if he's gonna speak English, give him that accent, man. Like, make him do a little accent. And The Rock doesn't have to do any method acting or go crazy to like touch up his English in a way where he sounds kind of Egyptian, or definitely not of America. But I mean, they really didn't try. There's a lot of things I do appreciate of this movie, though. I mean, I love the costume designs. I think all of the costume designs were really spot on.
Yeah, I could definitely get with that.
I liked Noah Centinio's Atom Smasher. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his charm. A lot of people were like, yo, he was useless, and like, yeah, he didn't have a huge impact on the film, but I loved him. He was like, he had this rookie kind of vibe to him. He was the new guy on the team that's never been in this, so he really doesn't know what's going on, and he's learning as we go. I love when Hawkman's like, me and you on the ship, me and you on the jet when we get back, me and you. Like, I love that little banter between him and Hawkman. He really felt like the little, like, the young brother of the group. I also appreciated Cyclone for what she was. I mean, it's different for just Aldrich Hodges, Hawkman, to just be like, she's insanely smart, and then she just like does a couple things on a hologram and talks about nanobots. And like, I wish we could have got more of that, because I genuinely appreciated her in this movie. Like, her powers looked beautiful. Her powers looked beautiful. And she was also just really charming, and every time she was around, like she put a grin on my face. I'm not even gonna lie. And I was like, yo, we need more of this. But Dr. Fate and Hawkman are definitely my standouts. I love Hawkman. He really has this relentless energy where he not only does not give up, but he's always down for a challenge. And I really love that. His rivalry with Black Adam was really cool. The second they clashed heads, it was like non-stop. It was like, who's better? And even though Hawkman knows he's not powerful enough to take Black Adam, he still does, because it's kind of willpower. It's that dignity. It's all that. And obviously, Dr. Fate is the best. Visually stunning, perfect casting, very great script compared to everyone else. And on top of that, he actually had some depth to his character a little bit. He actually showed that like he cared about Hawkman enough to where like he would lie to him about who's gonna die just to save his own result and not, you know, make Hawkman feel so bad and stop him from dying and stuff. I mean, I do know the helmet ends up being passed down. It is a mantle, but I do wish they did not kill him.
I had some great back and forth moments.
Yeah, I mean, everything else you said as a negative, I also agree with. I think my review is on the channel anyways, so if you really want my thoughts, it's there. But to just sum it up, really, I think it's a very generic, like the most, like when The Rock said this was 15 years in the making, I'm like, it definitely was, because this fucking script and screenplay is from 15 years ago. Like it is a mid 2000s movie.
Too late.
Yeah, but the action
as well
is a spectacle, though. I mean, the second The Rock lands, I mean, from that to like the end, it's literally nonstop, to be honest. And then to point out, I did point this out in my review, but I just got to point out the needle drops in this movie are absolute atrocious. They're some of the worst needle drops I've ever heard. Just the timing of them is really off. The use of them is really off. It was like Suicide Squad 2016 all over. Like it was just, it was a ton of just licensed music here and then here, but like in 10-second intervals and really weird. Yeah. They know this song. But yeah, it's very generic, but it was a ton of fun. Like, I'm not going to lie and say I didn't have a blast, because in that theater, I was going, oh snap, and smiling, grinning, seeing the JSA on the big screen, even though like story wise, it didn't make the most sense within the continuity, but seeing the JSA was like, damn, I kind of want a JSA movie now, especially like one set in like the 40s or something, like a classic JSA movie. And yeah, I just thought it was like generic, but like super entertaining, super fun. And that's really all I expected in the movie. I wasn't expecting anything deep, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna like sit there and give it an A+, because it was great action. Like, it still was very, like I said, generic. That's just the word I used to describe it. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic, though. We just spent 22 minutes on Black Adam. Let's not make that mistake again. I think there are better movies to spend 22 minutes on. But with the next topic, James Gunn and Peter Safran has taken over DC Studios now, which is actually like finally, like, why did it take this long? Don't know why, but DC Studios now, they are the head. I don't know what's their position. It's like co-chair and
they're
CEO.
They're both CEOs. They're co-CEOs.
So yeah, and they're really, I mean, people are saying they're the Feige now, right? They're the Feige of DC. They're mapping out DC. They're planning the next I think they said 10 years, right? Too. They said 10 years of DC, and
they're almost done as well.
Right? Yeah, that just came out today, right? Yeah. And I'm going to let you give your thoughts on it, because I feel like I have a very quick consensus on how I feel about this. Okay. So go ahead and break it down. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, to me, they should have had a DC Studios. It kind of felt like the entire Warner Brothers company was they kind of had DC in a chokehold. So they were doing whatever the hell they wanted to do with it. So even creative minds just couldn't really do what they wanted. And for that reason... There was no feet for this for DC when it started. There was nowhere for it to go. I mean, obviously you could see that there was somewhere for it to go, but it's almost as if the CEO of Disney was the one making the decisions for the movies. Like, you just wouldn't want that. You would want Feige to make those decisions. And it was a whole convoluted mess. So I'm glad that they got a DC Studios now. And I'm also glad that they have someone like James Gunn running DC Studios. Me personally, I wouldn't have someone like James Gunn run it, but over the decisions that this company has made over time and who they could and have appointed in, a similar position, James Gunn is a huge step up. Not only because of his ability to garner an audience and kind of not adhere, but kind of I don't know a good word to explain it, but you know, he kind of has the comic book movie audience in the palm of his hand. You know what I mean? Like he's very well versed in this stuff, and he's an avid fan of the comic books, and it's kind of shown through like his posts on social media and stuff. And for that, like, he's garnered quite a pop culture audience for that. So I think him and Peter Safran are both great decisions. I can't sit here and say they're bad decisions. Me personally, I just don't agree with having somebody who started off in the MCU come in and lead DC Studios, even though their mantra is we're not trying to be like the MCU. That doesn't make sense to me. That comes off as very ironic and very, you know, not to their word, just, you know, throwing words onto an article, throwing the right words onto the table. But again, they just started like last week, so who knows what they're cooking up. I'm already hearing some cool stuff though. I think I saw James Gunn post Mr. Terrific today. So if he's able to bring Mr. Terrific to the DCU,
and then Lobo,
that would be
Lobo before that.
Yeah, that would be sick. And he also posted Lobo as well. So again, it already seems like he's trying to get something going. Him and Peter Safran have already almost got this 10-year plan finished. So I think we'll see what's gonna be going on in the DCU pretty soon. But yeah, as of right now, I mean, we're kind of just riding the waves with it, even through 2023. But we're really
to
say
not
that I'm
getting
not
anything
excited for what DC Studios has in store for the future would be just a bold-faced lie, because they have new management, they have new character, they have like they can do basically whatever they want. So it's only a matter of time before we can see that.
All right. That definitely. Those were some good thoughts. As for how I think about it, y'all know I'm a James Gunn fan. Like, I do love his comic book, media. I think he's 4 for 4, and he really knows how to give characters like that don't shine really in comics or have been forgotten a real spotlight. And say what you want about how you feel about his movies or even other people. I mean, he made Guardians of the Galaxy a household name, which is like wild to me that he made like fucking Ratcatcher and Peacemaker a household name. That's just,
I don't know about Ratcatcher.
That's
crazy.
Well, to me, I love Ratcatcher.
I don't think she's a household name.
I think James Gunn really has a niche where he just knows how to take these super obscure characters and put in a ton of like heart in them and quickly make you care for them. It's I don't know what it is. It's this real magic that he puts on display. And no, all of his characters aren't like these super deep, methodical characters, but man, you like instantly like them, even when they're villains, even when they're bad, whether they're good or not. Like, you just like them instantly, and you care about what's gonna happen for them in the future. And I think his job with the MCU, what he's done with the MCU, the thing that excites me the most about him being on DC now is, a lot of people think, and I don't know like why they think this way, but a lot of people really do think that James Gunn is just gonna make every movie Gunn styled. And I think it is quite the opposite, right? If you look at what he's done in the MCU, his movies are the most different. He clearly has like the most creative control out of any director that has stepped in the MCU. And it's because he's created something so like its own entity that no one can really step in and touch, right? And I feel like, let's say, they're bringing out a Man of Steel 2. I don't think James Gunn is going to control that. Not only has he said he doesn't want to touch Superman because that's not a character that he feels like is for him, but I feel like James Gunn himself understands creative freedom.
Like directing wise?
Yeah. Oh, okay. And I feel like James Gunn himself understands creative freedom because he himself has been, someone that's been able to create anything he wants, and he's seen how the product has came out, right? The Suicide Squad, right? They asked him, do a Superman movie. He said, nah, I want to do a Suicide Squad movie. And they gave him the reins to do literally anything he wanted. So I feel like James Gunn knows what it's like to have creative freedom and does not want to take that away. Let's say someone wants to step in and do a Superman movie. I don't think he's going to limit their creative freedom. I don't think he's going to, I don't think he's going to walk in and be like, actually, could you do this? Because I feel like he understands how good a movie could be when you just let the director play it out. As for Peter Safran, he's ran the Conjuring universe and he knows. So that means
that was Walter Hamada, not Peter. I mean,
no, Peter Safran produced all the Conjuring,
right?
The entire franchise.
He was under Hamada.
Yeah. But I'm just saying he's responsible for like the Conjuring franchise. Yeah. He's worked on Shazam and Aquaman, which tells me he already off rip has a good relationship with two of the DCU directors, James Wan and David Sandberg. Yep. And obviously he's worked with James Gunn before. But like I said, him working on that Conjuring universe really tells us. Yeah.
For what?
And for Shazam. Oh, you're talking about with James Gunn? He worked on Suicide Squad. He worked on the Suicide Squad. Did he? Oh. And but like I was saying, he's worked on the Conjuring universe, and what that gives us is that he knows what fans want. He knows what they're saying, and he knows how to please audiences. And I think you have a powerhouse, and I've said this before, and love that Feige's in the chair at Marvel, but I feel like the reason the quality's been dipping over in the MCU is because Feige cannot focus on everything anymore, right? Think about it, right? Before we had maybe 3 movies a year, that was it. They were all tightly woven, right? And now you got multiple shows running across each other with movies coming out. He's not there everywhere. He's not everywhere.
It's so
and
bad
you
that
can
he
tell.
Can't even cohere. Like he can't even.
That's what I'm saying. You can tell Kevin Feige is clearly taking liberties with other projects. Like he's not focused on a certain project. And I feel like the power. I feel like a lot of people are really underestimating what DC has now, because not only do they have, a person who has already developed a successful franchise and knows what it takes to make fans happy and keep something forward, but you've got another person who really understands how to please audiences, who is a comic book just connoisseur, who really loves to have fun, puts creative thoughts in, and most importantly is a risk taker. He's the one that put Guardians into the MCU and made them a household name. He is the one that made a talking tree and a talking raccoon, resonate with audiences. And on top of that, everyone thought it was just going to be a movie made for toy sales. Like, he is the one that made these obscure characters, now household names. So not only do you got these 2 magnificent people that are perfect for the job, in my opinion, but they're 2 people, and that's very important. They are running not only the cinematic side, but also the animated and just TV show side. And I feel like, see, if it was one person, it would be far too much. But you can have James Gunn work on the movies. You can have Peter Safran produce some of the shows and pitch his ideas. Maybe James Gunn will step in, make a couple of tweaks here and there. And then the animated stuff, I feel like Peter Safran will probably take over that mostly, I feel like. But
you think so?
Yeah. I just think DC has a powerhouse now. They have 2 people to bounce off of, right? And I don't think Kevin Feige is the prez. He's the king. Whatever he wants, they do, right? Even if it's a great idea, I feel like Kevin Feige will still have that last say-so. And I feel like with Peter Safran and James in the chair, maybe James has an idea and bounces it off of Peter Safran, and they can expand those type of things. And I think that's something that's really not on everyone's radar. I feel like they have something really strong there. I'm very excited, but obviously that doesn't mean it's all going to go well. In 4 years, we'll have this conversation again and see where the DCU is. But obviously after Shazam, Flash, and Aquaman, that's really where we get to see what they're having planned and what they're setting in stone.
Well, I feel like you're kind of undermining those movies because those are in the DC universe.
Yes, but they were in production before this news. All of them, all three of them.
Well, true though. I feel like since they're head of DC now, I feel like they can kind of oversee these.
Like
films.
they can
probably
add
not
changes?
Shazam too, because there's been like trailers and stuff. But
Right.
obviously, even that movie, I still think they could make changes to probably. But like movies, Shazam 2 and beyond, I think they could still
Aquaman and
make some
Flash,
changes
right? That's the
for
only
yeah.
movies they
I
have.
think they could still make some changes for those movies if they wanted to. So
I don't think
basically,
they
if those
need to make a
movies
change
were
to
come
Aquaman.
out, not perform well or whatever, I still think that I don't think the blame should go to the old regime. I think it should be the new one, because the new one is watching this movie, screening it, and then releasing it.
Yeah, but they don't want to
So-
like delay again.
Obviously, especially when you're trying to cut costs and save as much money as you can right now. But
no, I get what
yeah,
you're
I
saying,
wouldn't.
though.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm
yeah.
just-
I
no,
mean,
I'm
at
talking
the same time,
about
I kind
the-
of do agree with you though. Like, you're not gonna really see the full impact.
Yeah, you're not gonna
until
see like
their
what
hands
were
are like.
that's what I'm saying.
just dipped in that
After
shit. Like
when's the latest movie? When's like the last one? Is it Aquaman?
the Blue Beetle.
Oh, Blue Beetle is also theatrical, huh?
Yeah,
Well, I'd say
might be Blue Beetle.
yeah. After Blue Beetle, that's when we really see what's kind of going in motion, kind of what they're looking forward to, and another thing that really piques my interest that I
mean, who's
add.
to say they won't release a slate before this year even ends?
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I mean, they said they're almost done. I mean,
I don't know if that means
feel
they're
like we
releasing
could
a
get the
slate. I
slate
think
pretty
that means like bare
soon.
bones story.
unless is there like a convention or something you think that's coming soon? You think
That's what I
release
was
the
gonna
slate
get
at?
to. That's also something
That's the place
that
to do
very
it, baby.
much excites me. DC has even when like they were just starting their universe, even when they're like even now they weren't the biggest one. Like they really don't know how to handle Comic-Con, and that Suicide Squad original trailer though banged from there. But
I don't know.
feel
I
like
think the
DC
BVS era during Comic-Con was kind of like BVS and Suicide Squad era. That era
like
at Comic-Con
yeah,
was
I'll give them
pretty
yeah
damn
that
good.
year they were really hyping.
pretty damn good, Brand.
But I just feel like DC in
But yeah,
general
I know what
didn't
you mean.
understand the impact that like presenting something at Comic-Con could have. And I feel like, you see James Gunn
I think they
recent.
did. I just think they didn't follow through on it. I like their universe was tarnished like very early with like barely any film, so it didn't really have any like ground to cover.
Don't get me wrong, the trailers definitely are those banged, but like I'm talking about their presentations.
Yeah, like
The
I
Comic-Con
remember them
presentations
coming- I
were
remember
never
them
really
doing, like,
impressive. Not to me, at least. They never really brought anyone out that like did any like, you know what I mean? And I think that's really the power of Comic-Con is you can really
I don't know. They brought the full cast out. They brought Batfleck and Cavill, all of them on stage. Amy Adams. They showed the slate on stage.
right.
The BVS trailer. I remember the Suicide Squad stuff. I don't know. I feel like at one point they were taking it serious, but the universe was just so tarnished at some point that it was like they really couldn't be hype at Comic-Con because next year they're releasing
Shazam, Flash, and
Aquaman. Like it's like cool, but like
I don't know. I feel like if there's anyone that really understands what Comic-Con can not only just hype up, but like how experiences at Comic-Con can really improve, make people's expectations shoot through the roof. It's James Gunn. I mean, the man brought out recently High Evolutionary with this
I was gonna say
music.
what convention was that? Where
That was Comic-Con.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he brings out he brings out
outfit and everything.
the music, and you see the whole cast really like shedding tears and just showing how much work they put in. I feel like if there's I feel like the Comic-Cons now for DC will actually present something. Like, what did they do this year? Was it just Black Adam? That's it? And a Shazam trailer? It was like Dwayne The Rock Johnson showed up in his Black Adam suit, and then they played a Shazam trailer, and that was it. That was their whole panel. It was like, damn. So that's another reason why I'm interested. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next topic. This one we can just scroll it through quick. But Henry Cavill announced his return shortly after the release of Black Adam and said, "There is such a bright future ahead for the character, and I'm so excited to tell a story with an enormously joyful Superman." How did you feel about Henry coming out and saying that, Kelly?
Well, number one, we've had a story with a joyful Superman, not an enormously joyful Superman, but we've had stories with a joyful Superman. But yeah, I'm fucking glad he's back. He's literally the only man that should be playing Superman. I'm gonna be honest. I can't think of another casting where you could be like, him. He would be a good Superman casting. I just can't.
I don't know. I'd argue Jared Leto.
Henry Cavill. What?
I'm joking, man.
Tom Holland?
He's too busy doing Tom Holland.
Tom
Holland's a great cast.
But yeah, I'm happy he's back. I wonder what he's gonna do with the character. I'm gonna be honest. The way the suit looked in Black Adam makes me wonder what the suit is gonna look like in his other cameos or appearances.
Right.
If the suit is gonna be in a different color grading and look, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because yeah, that would just, I don't know, that I feel like that would throw people off. But yeah, I'm glad he's back. I've heard Man of Steel 2 is in the works as well. Mm-hmm. So
I think that's ultimately why that was his final straw.
I think is it Charles Roven that's writing it?
I don't know. I didn't know they already had a writer attached.
One of the people who helped either produced or I think it was produced or wrote, not produced, or helped write the first Man of Steel. So, and I love the first Man of Steel. So I think it's in pretty good hands. But yeah, the fact that Cavill's back is all I need to know. Anything Cavill is signed up for, I'm probably gonna go to. His Superman is just damn good. So yeah, happy for the kid. I hope James Gunn can do some fucking good ass shit with Cavill because man, the regime before gave two shits about him. So yeah,
the faceless cameos. Yeah. I think I feel pretty much the same way. I always thought that there should be a Superman, and whether it was Cavill or not, like at around the point where like everyone was just fed up with Warner Brothers and DC not even having a Superman, everyone was like, fuck it. It doesn't even have to be Cavill. Like, give us you're running DC. You don't have the most. That's like running Marvel and not having Spider-Man. It's just crazy to me. But Cavill back makes me really excited. I think his potential is like through the roof. Personally, I think he really does have the potential to be like the greatest Superman ever on screen.
Me
he
too,
really
honestly.
gives off that like Superman energy in interviews. He's really likable, charismatic as hell, and hearing an enormously joyful Superman makes me enormously joyful. Can he have some harsh moments? Absolutely, but depending on how they're gonna do this DCU and if they're kind of like starting over, I don't know if they're gonna retcon Man of Steel or whatever. Like that's where I'm really interested. That's what I'm really interested in is like are they gonna acknowledge it?
The Flash and stuff. It really begs the question on what the fuck is gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the Flash is probably gonna set a lot of things.
New regime stepped in, and what the fuck does this mean for like afterwards? Like
right.
Got a lot of questions to answer, man.
Regardless, I'm really excited. Cavill is back. I'm really excited to see a Superman on screen again. And hopefully we do get a Man of Steel 2 in the future. And that shit better bang. And then they'll get a third right after that very quick.
Please, we're getting a Magic Mike trilogy before our second fucking Superman movie.
I know, that's crazy.
Please, my God. Matter of fact, fuck it. Shoot them back to fucking back. Shoot them back to back.
Just like Fast X.
My God. Please.
For the next topic, though, the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer was recently released, and Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let you give your thoughts on it. Once again, I'll just let you go first on all these topics, to be honest. So, yeah, what'd you think about that trailer?
I'm fucking hyped for an Ant-Man movie. What the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck is going on, dog? Now, granted, 90% because of Jonathan Majors / Kang, but I mean, fuck it though. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that shit. I want to see how he utilizes his I want to see how he utilizes the technology, how he play. I mean, Kang plays with time, baby. So that's why I hope this movie introduces. I mean, it's an odd one because the trailer. I mean, obviously the trailers aren't going to show much, but I really hope they go into depth with Kang and like how he plays with time, because I really feel like this could do something big for the MCU. They could have some sort of time jump or something and have like, build up these younger characters, a little faster than but it would be again like with stuff like when you start playing with time, it gets kind of hard because like Ironheart just got introduced with Wakanda Forever. What if they have a time jump to get Wiccan and Speed a little older? Now you got to find a different actor or actress maybe for Ironheart or something. You know what I mean? So it comes it comes with the territory, but yeah, I really want to see what the fuck he's doing. I don't really got to say much about Paul Rudd. I mean, he's probably going to be funny as hell in this movie. But I will say the movie dude, the trailer looks like Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sorry. It does. The color grading is very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. The way that the setting looks and stuff like that, like
it looks more like space than quantum.
It looks very like Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, I'm fucking hyped for this movie, mainly because of Kang, but also because of what this means for the MCU. Like a movie with
start at phase 5, right?
But I mean, even if it was phase 4, like a movie with Kang would mean something for the MCU. Like when Kang was in Loki, like everything in the MCU was kind of like, okay, WandaVision, Shang-Chi, cool, whatever. But Loki and Kang really made you feel like, what the fuck is gonna happen to the MCU? What's gonna happen? So I feel like Kang is really gonna put his imprint put a stamp on the MCU. I hope he does. I know he's probably gonna be in other movies and stuff, but I hope this movie really like kind of not how they built up Thanos. I hope they can build up Kang better.
Make you like really want him. Thanos, like I would need to see him now.
Credit scenes and such, which was like cool, but like giving Kang like actual story and building him up, because this is how you should do Kang. There are multiple Kang, like this is how you really should do him. I feel like it could be a banger. So and honestly, fucking I'm gonna just be real with you. Peyton Reed got one more time, bro. Like I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you, bro. Like if like he's on thin ice, my nigga. Like I can't do it, bro. Like he's just so like don't get me wrong. Ant-Man 1 and 2
he may bring it on.
Bring it on.
He may bring it on, dude. Come on now.
Ant-Man 1 is like okay. Ant-Man 2 is like
that's all Edgar Wright, buddy. All Edgar Wright.
But like again, bro is on thin ice for me. Like I'm gonna need him to
make something actually other than mid.
Yeah, I'm gonna need him to make something to where I walk out the theater, I want to go watch it again. But yeah, when it comes to that Ant-Man 3 trailer, I'm hyped. I can't wait to see this shit, man. Soon as tickets go on sale, I'm buying them bitches, man. Kang is here. Kang is fucking here.
Though. Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I thought, watching the trailer, it just it dawned on me how like I really number one, I really love Paul Rudd as Scott. But number two, like it really dawned on me during that trailer that how much like I really don't care about the Ant-Man franchise. And I feel like Thor's had his bad movies, but you're still like after Ragnarok, you're like that was like the revival of his franchise. So I'm hoping this does the same because I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, y'all know how I feel about Peyton Reed. Y'all know how I feel that Ant-Man 1 was the good parts of Ant-Man 1 were mostly because of Edgar Wright. And how his full-on show was on display with Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I personally think that's the worst MCU movie. It's just, it has no reason to be so disappointing. It's wild. I'm hoping he's in his Duffy here. I'm hoping, Ant-Man and the Wasp was just a fluke to set up Endgame or something. I'm hoping he really gets to use his creative flourishes.
I will say, I need something riveting for Paul Rudd. I need something riveting for his story worth latching onto and saying, I don't want to see him go. I do not want to see this character go.
I mean,
like,
I think him and Hope might die. I hope not. No pun intended. But
even
I feel
again, like as of right now, if he was to die, I wouldn't care. I need something. Well,
it depends on the movie.
I don't want him to
depends on what the movie does.
Obviously, but I'm just saying, like, as of right now, nothing's
the way they're setting it. It clearly seems like they're doing the whole Young Avengers thing. So, if Cassie is the last one alive, I wouldn't be too surprised. But yeah, Jonathan Majors completely made that trailer for me. I wonder how big, because obviously he's the main villain. But let me find out. Fucking Janet Van Dyne was fucking homie in the quantum realm, or they had a little relationship. I'm gonna be pissed. That's all I'm saying. Listen, like, Hank deserved better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, like, but yeah, I really hope they do King justice. I have no doubt fucking Destin Daniel Cretton is going to. Like, I have no doubt he's gonna make King fire in King Dynasty, but I just want to see Peyton Reed I want to see what he's going to do, if he has some creative flourishes that he's going to show off, or if it's going to be another fluke. But we got another topic in another trailer. Avatar: The Way of Water has released recently, at least, a new trailer, I think, right? New, official. Yep. And tell me your thoughts on that trailer.
I'm gonna be so honest with you. It's probably let me think. Would release this year. It's probably my most hyped movie of the year. I mean, the first trailer didn't get me. The first trailer was kind of slow.
It was like just
it was very
slow
music. It was very
no words, like, nothing.
Yeah, very teased, barely any shots and scenes. Like a lot of slow mo. Like it just wasn't much there for me to get hype at. But man, this second trailer, especially, I had rewatched Avatar like a week before this trailer dropped. So once the trailer dropped and they're saying things that I can literally remember from the first one,
yeah.
Man, what? This shit is dope, dog. The CGI looks fucking immaculate. I'm hearing better things about the movie each day. I just heard a couple days ago it took the movie this long to make because James Cameron wanted to really hone in on the writing and the actual story of the movie. And I feel like when it comes to everybody's opinion on the first one, everybody has the same opinion. That's what's lacking. The story isn't that riveting. Some people could say the characters aren't riveting. Me rewatching it, I mean, while watching the movie, you love the characters. You might not be able to say like what the character's name is right after the movie, but while watching it, you fall in love with the characters. Like, seriously. Also, the music seems better.
It does.
The directing somehow seems better. I don't know.
Everything
know how.
Got a step up. Got a fucking
yeah. Like it's
VC
crazy
glitch on it. Like
where with like it's like before it was just straight land. Now it's like meeting this new tribe and it's all about water, dog. It brings so much joy to me to think about what they can do with this universe. Like, who's to say there isn't like a tribe out there that deals with like I don't know, like, what do you think? Like weaponry and machine, like, like stuff like that. I don't know. Like, they could really dive into this story a little bit deeper. But yeah, the movie looks amazing. The CGI looks fucking immaculate. The characters in this one, like, they look more.
It looks like it's there's a lot more characters like in general. Yeah, and it looks like we're spending time with more people.
Like, I don't know how, but I mean, there's some scenes in there that's like some dope stuff. I mean, all every single shot of the water that I saw from that trailer, it just made me think. I was like, I haven't seen anything water-wise this good in a movie. Not Aquaman, not I just watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We'll be talking about that in a bit. Not Wakanda Forever. The water effects and the way the shots are in the water, it looks insane. And one of the reasons is because James Cameron new technique that he introduced in this film when it comes to filming underwater. So like stuff like that, it just hypes you as a guy that likes to look at, you know, the shots and likes to watch Avatar and IMAX and stuff like that. It's just gonna hype you up, and it shows expansion in the industry. Like we're just moving further and further. Like who's to say next time we see Namor, he's gonna have underwater fights next time we see Namor, because now there's this way to record underwater and stuff like that. You know, like it breeds more competition for the industry. So I love that. Yeah, I'm so hyped for this movie. I'm probably gonna go see it multiple times. I'm gonna try to get those IMAX tickets like literally the moment they drop. Yeah, I feel like
they've got to be dropping soon now that Wakanda Forever dropped.
I predict it drops next week, man. Like,
yeah, honestly. Now that Wakanda Forever is like out now, now they can full on start marketing Avatar. So I'm curious to see what the older generation audience like. Oh, now that they're a lot, it's gonna be so. It's just amazing stuff, man. Like when you have an audience that widespread. Like I was just watching a video the other day of the Avatar trailer premiering in Paris, and it was like it reached everywhere, buddy. That movie reached everywhere.
It was like they were in like a coliseum, and the screen was like as big as I don't know. I've never seen a movie screen that big. But like everyone's in the crowd just yelling, and I'm just like the first one, this is the impact it had. Like I don't know, like the impact that the first one had is crazy. It is so widespread. So seeing like the second one come this long, like years later, and seeing how much better the effects are gonna get. Like the first one wasn't even in 4K. Just imagine wasn't even in 4K. Like dog, like now all the effects and shit are rendered in 4K. Like I'm so hyped for this shit, man.
I think
I can talk about this shit all day, bro.
Now I'm not like on the side of like Avatar's one of the greatest movies of all time, but I absolutely know and respect the boundaries it broke, not only for like just VFX, because obviously it was one of the like that's what it impacted easily the most.
It was like so much.
But like you brought up, James Cameron brought his own, work to the table and really cared so much that he developed his own form of 3D specifically for that last movie. That's why, me personally, I really want to see this next one in 3D. I feel like that's a huge.
But I'm not gonna lie. The thing that held me off about that is that back then 3D was kind of just like coming. You know what I mean? So it was kind of hard to like be like, this movie's good. There would only be so many good.
I mean, now, if anything, it's going.
But again,
no one watches movies in 3D.
How many people are going to see 3D, though?
Exactly.
Like, these people are counting these ticket sales and stuff. Like, I wonder how many people are really going to see it in 3D.
I mean, I don't care.
I wonder, because I know James Cameron is a fucking huge fan of 3D, especially when it first came out. He was like a fucking huge fan of that shit. I wonder if he's like making this movie in the same kind of process, same thinking process.
Of course he is.
Hey, you think so?
Yeah, absolutely, because the first movie was seen in 3D so much. Like, that was one of the few movies where, like, people were going to watch it in 3D. Like, you know what I mean?
Moving towards 4DX, though, me personally. I feel like...
I don't know. I heard 4DX is a crazy experience.
I've heard 4DX is fucking wild. I've heard it's some pretty wild.
I think, I think James Cameron really understands how to captivate and immerse an audience, and 3D is only going to emphasize that experience. And I feel like he really will hone in and lean into that once again, regardless of if people watch in 3D or not. I will, and I have no doubt that he's going to not fucking convert it to 3D. I don't like the movies that convert their movies to 3D and instead film it in 3D. And I have no doubt James Cameron's doing that. And he knows that there's people out there that really care about 3D, that buy 3D, that have the 3D glass and the TV, the special TVs specifically for 3D DVDs. And I feel like he understands all like audiences, whether that's you watching it in digital, premium format, 3D at home. He tries to capture everyone. And that's how I feel like, that's why I feel no doubt. Yeah, he'll really focus on 3D. But as for the trailer, I thought it was gorgeous as well.
It comes out in 1 month.
1 month. It doesn't even feel like it. The marketing will, I expect it to start ramping up, especially at the start of December. At the start. But as for the trailer, like I said, thought it was beautiful. The CG looks so.
Dude, I remember I used to be hyped years ago from these like fake ass Avatar 2 thumbnails with like this fake ass photoshopped baby that looks like
an Avatar baby. I think I know what you're talking about.
Dude,
I think I know what you're talking about.
I used to be like, this is insane. This is an Avatar baby. Look at this. And then lo and behold, in the movie, there's an actual Avatar baby.
Yeah.
Like,
I think them going with the whole water thing is insane.
It looks so spiritual.
You know, I'm just hoping, you know, man. I hear it's like 3 hours and 10 minutes. That is my only issue.
Well,
not the actual runtime. It's like 2 hours and 40 something. But that's how I'm not like,
I dig it.
I'm not saying the runtime's a bad thing. I'm saying the plot, the writing better be captivating enough to keep me there for 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
And if it's not, I feel like it'll hugely miss. Like, I feel like that's a make or break when you got a movie that long that like isn't captivating you. I have no doubt it will though, because like why else would you make it 3 hours? So yeah, I'm excited for that. But we're gonna get into the last topic. Wakanda Forever dropped last week, right?
Yeah.
Like recently, and we're gonna give our thoughts on the movie. You guys place by the way, your comments below for all of these. What you guys thought about the Guardians, the Avatar, the Ant-Man trailer.
We definitely want to hear your guys' feedback.
Absolutely.
I'll definitely be down there lurking, grilling some
James Gunn and Peter Safran. Your thoughts on Black Adam, and but we're getting into the Wakanda Forever talk. And you guys definitely share your thoughts on here. Spoiler warning: we are gonna spoil something. So if you haven't seen it, go watch the movie. Come back so you can hear us talk about it. But
if you have not watched the movie yet, what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. My review will be dropping. I think by the time this is out, my review will already be out. So make sure you go and watch that. But what did you think about this film? What did you like? What did you not like? What did it get you hyped for? What did it do for you?
All right, man. I've only seen it once, so it's kind of it's a weird one. It's a doozy for sure. It's a good film to me. It's damn good. I see a lot of people saying that they like the first Black Panther more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of on the edge. I'm kind of like, I kind of like the first one more, but
the first one has its pros. The second one also has better pros.
Like the second one, so it's just gonna come with rewatching it and stuff like that. But some pros, the shit I liked in the movie. I liked what they did with Shuri. She was given some pretty good character, and she gives some pretty good fucking performances in this movie. They felt pretty real. Also Angela Bassett. I don't really need to say much. I mean, I'd say the only bad thing about her character is that she was killed. I mean, that is that's really it.
Crazy.
But I mean, she should be nominated for an Oscar for this movie. She was absolutely breathtaking in every single scene.
She definitely was the standout in every scene she was in.
Every single scene. Also Tenoch Huerta. He was amazing as Namor.
Immaculate.
I wish he would have got like a series or a movie before this movie.
That would have been insane. That would have been so it would have been amazing.
But yeah, he was fucking amazing in this movie. He's honestly, to me, he's like he's such a good antagonist, and he's honestly one of the better antagonists in the MCU. Okoye was dope. I feel like I didn't get enough from M'Baku. I feel like
same.
M'Baku was he had some cool scenes. He had some dope stuff, but there wasn't enough there for me. I also feel like there were some choices in this movie that were kind of questionable. Like, again, with the Queen's death, I feel like that choice was kind of questionable. I could see why, for the story and for the character, especially for Shuri's character. I feel like I know why they made that decision, but me personally, it's questionable to me because when I was watching it and I saw the Queen die, I legitimately felt uncomfortable. I didn't know how to feel about it.
I didn't feel like it was real.
Yeah,
like I was like,
real.
They didn't.
It was so uncomfortable that I did not cry. I did not cry during her death.
Yeah, it was that shocking.
After,
like,
or the funeral after. Yeah, it didn't feel real. Especially given her performance in the movie, I don't know how you can watch her do what she did and then kill her still. That is a very questionable decision to me. Another questionable decision to me is Shuri becoming the Black Panther. To me, it's weird because I was telling my brother that I like the fact that it doesn't feel like she becomes the Black Panther because her people need a Black Panther. I like the fact that it feels like she becomes the Black Panther on her own volition. Like, she should do it because it's the right thing to do. And deep inside, she's built up all this anger and stuff. She wants to be the Black Panther. She feels like it's time for her to take the mantle. What I don't like is how they propel her to this fucking master fighter that I never knew she was.
No, she has the powers of the Black Panther.
Right, the powers, not the skills. That doesn't mean that she knows how to.
But I'm pretty sure it just starts coming natural. Like, if you can jump high now, I would start doing backflips. Like,
no, obviously, but I'm talking like more like that final fight scene against Namor, where it's like straight up hand-to-hand combat against Namor.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
Namor would win. You know what I mean? Like,
skill, like easily. On a technical level.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. Granted, she did the little fucking Wakanda for everything and fucking nuked that nigga, but like, I mean, still, like, also, the way they came up with the synthetic herb,
I saw it coming.
I don't know if I missed something, but her making the herb with Namor's bracelet makes zero sense to me.
No, the bracelet had the plant that was woven in it, and that plant came from the ocean. That was also infected with the vibranium meteor.
Okay, so
both come from like a vibranium soil almost.
No, I get what you're saying, but then I would have loved to see like an ancestral plane like thing for the Talokans. I would have loved to see something like that.
Well, they weren't like eating it. They weren't eating that stuff.
Like when they first did, when it was showing like the flashbacks and stuff like that. Like,
no, they did eat it, didn't they?
And they did. They did and stuff. Yeah. I wish I could have seen like that would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Very relatable to Wakanda already. Like, you might as well go all the fucking way if that's what you're gonna do. Yeah. M'Baku. I feel like he was pushed to the side in this movie, and I did not like it. M'Baku is throughout these movies and stuff, he's kind of known as the warrior, but he's got a little charm, like everything but that. He's got some charm. I love some of his lines in this movie. They're so fucking good. You bald-headed demon. That shit had me.
No, that had the whole theater rolling.
That shit had me rolling. But yeah, M'Baku's character could have had some more work. He felt very weak in this movie. I liked his moments with Shuri.
Felt like he was just sitting back.
Just sitting back, waiting for shit to happen, and then when shit would pop off, he's like,
he got punched to fucking Narnia.
Right,
got sent to Narnia.
Laid there, like, that's it. But
GG's red flag, or white flag.
That's all. But yeah, I wish he was given some more. I loved his emotional touches with Shuri. His little conversation with Shuri really made him feel like that T'Challa that Shuri doesn't have. Like, it really felt
big
like
brother.
Like he was trying to snap her
that wisdom.
It. Yeah, give her that wisdom talk and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, that only goes so far, especially when his character is shoved in the back the way he was. When it comes to Ironheart, man, this is a questionable one because on one hand, she doesn't feel integral to the plot, but on the other, she has to do with the plot. And by that, I know what you're gonna say. By that, I mean, the reason Namor even goes to Wakanda in the first place is kind of because of her
Absolutely.
her machine and what lands in there. But at the same time, Wakanda. At the same time, Namor doesn't rain hell upon Wakanda for that reason. He goes up there and he's like, he kind of says that, but he also is like, no, it's not even about the girl anymore. It's about like what's been happening to us. I feel like now is the time to strike. Now that they're here now, so now is the time to strike. And so that kind of feels like.
But I feel like he wasn't going after Wakanda from the jump. He wasn't.
No, it wasn't about going after Wakanda. The only reason he went for Wakanda is because what's her name killed 2 of his people.
Queen Ramonda.
No.
Yes.
Why am I forgetting her name? No.
Okoye Nakia.
Nakia. Yeah.
It's
because Nakia killed 2 of his people.
Yeah.
He wasn't fighting Wakanda, but
no, I know. I thought you were saying he was.
That's what made him fight Wakanda. But what made him like triggered was kind of Ironheart. But even that, like he kind of forgot about. Like he even told it in the movie. He was like, "It's not even about her anymore." Like it's like, and it's like, what is she in here for anyways? That like what? Like she kind of just feels like to be here. Same thing with fucking Everett Ross and what's her face? Valentina
Allegra De Fontaine. Long ass.
I don't know why she's in this movie. I understand she's here to set up the Thunderbolts, but she literally does not.
Yeah, she didn't. I don't know what I mean, unless them being ex.
Hey, she was in this show.
No, I get unless them being married, them being unless that leads to anything. I mean, yeah, I don't see why she was in here.
Also, I'm so sick and tired.
But actually, didn't she say something super?
I don't know.
She said like he was like, I mean, who would want to steal vibranium from those people with how strong they are? Or Everett said something like that, and Valentina was like, "Oh, I dream of it." Like she's starting a war with Wakanda, and I feel like that kind of ties into what Namor said at the end.
For me, when the entire premise of both Black Panther 1 and 2 are about the U.S. government trying to gain vibranium.
No, but I'm saying like I think that ties into what Namor said at the end. Namor said, you know, Wakanda now sees us as an ally. So when they're weak, we can strike.
They're gonna call to us.
Yeah, they're gonna call to us, and I feel like that they're kind of setting Valentina Allegra to do that.
I'm not saying they're not. No, that's probably what they're doing. But
damn, is that what Thunderbolts is gonna be about? That would be kind of weird.
So I've been hearing rumors that New World Order and Thunderbolts are gonna heavily revolve around
vibranium.
Trying to get some fucking metal.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that would be sick as fuck if the Thunderbolts are like, okay, let's do this mission and go get some vibranium. And Namor's
I still think Bucky.
No,
Bucky and who else is in there? Who's in the Thunderbolts?
Bucky's in the Thunderbolts? I forgot.
Bucky and Cap. Bucky and not Cap in the Thunderbolts.
Wouldn't that kind of feel like a regression of his?
But that's what I'm saying is Bucky better play the like peacemaker,
like the
Thunderbolts.
Peacemaker.
Yeah, like kind of the like
Rick Flag.
Rick Flag is still just a regular Suicide Squad member. Peacemaker's the one.
Rick Flag is like the most like.
Yeah, he's doing the good. Yeah, he's doing the
person in the group.
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean Bucky's gonna be Peacemaker. I mean like he's gonna be the one that flips. He's gonna be the one that's like, no, I'm not doing this shit. And like he's gonna probably stop because he, you know, White Wolf. He's the one that was taking care of in Wakanda for a while.
But then again, if that happens, why even put him in there? But anyway,
that's why you put him in there. That's why you put someone like Peacemaker in a Suicide Squad movie. It's a real flip of the switch. It's really interesting to me.
I mean, it's cool, but to me, it's like, why even put him in that? I feel like Winter Soldier is at the point where he wouldn't even make that decision now to be surrounded by literal people that his fellow Avengers
that have killed people.
Fought. Like I feel like that doesn't even. Both
Maybe
will,
it's like a money thing or a government thing. Like he has to serve or some shit.
who
I
knows?
don't know. Yeah.
But yeah. What I was gonna say is what I really don't like from both Black Panther 1 and Black Panther 2 is the fucking black on black violence. Like, I don't like that we're painting the U.S. government as the ultimate threat, but at the end of the day, we're still fighting each other.
We're still fighting. Yeah.
We're still fighting Killmonger. I don't like that we're painting the U.S. government as a villain, but we're still fighting brown people. We're still fighting the Aztecs and the Mesoamericans. I mean, like, I don't like that. Like, we should, like, obviously, if you're gonna make them the real enemy, because throughout the movie, the real enemy is the U.S. government. The whole reason that Namor even goes to Wakanda is because the U.S. government using a fucking machine. Using a machine made by them. And even Namor even says it. He's like the surface world, these people, like, we should, like, now is the time to strike. He says that to Queen Ramonda. Now, me personally, I found that motive kind of dumb as well. I found it kind of dumb for Namor to sit here and be like, I'm gonna sit under the sea and wait for the US or the surface world to be so much more technological advanced and then go after them. Now is the perfect time to strike. I'm gonna, like,
no, he went after them at the beginning too.
What do you mean?
Years ago, when they were kind of like enslaving his people.
No, I don't mean that. That was like I get that, but I don't know how to explain it, because it wasn't like the same. It wasn't like the same.
And he wasn't going after like just the American government. He was going specifically after Riri because she's who created the machine. So taking her out,
but again,
more of those.
But again, he says it's not even about her.
It's
about
later
the
in the movie.
It's about It's about them. Like, so I'm like obviously what you just brought up was cool or whatever, but that's literally like hundreds of years ago. Like, Namor's thousands of years old probably. Like, so it's like, why would you wait for, like,
because they weren't fucking with them.
But it's like, it doesn't, like, it just doesn't.
They're just trying to keep their peace, bro. They're just trying to live underwater.
Also, what doesn't make sense to me, and I told you this shit, and I was like, it completely confused me while I was watching the film.
What?
Why does Namor go undetected by the River Tribe or the defenses of Wakanda the first time when he goes and talks to Ramonda and Shuri and talks to them about like you know, when he's like, hey, the air is pristine, and like that first conversation, and then it happens again when they have that fight against Wakanda, when they invade Wakanda. I don't understand how you let this man who has vibranium and stuff, and you know this now, he goes undetected, and then you're just like,
well, how can they detect him?
Happen again? I don't know. That's what the movie should show. Like, the movie should show the
Kelly,
river tribe.
They're underwater.
There is a river tribe, though. The movie should show the river tribe trying to stop it. But it's
I find
like
that really. That's a nitpick.
Like,
that's a nitpick.
That is not a nitpick.
We're gonna spend time on a different tribe that can find out where Namor is on the already 2 hours and 40 minutes of the movie. That does have, like,
that is not a nitpick. The fact that Namor goes and they make it known, they go into the throne room with all the tribes, and they're like, "What happened?" Even M'Baku's like, "I mean, we have a river tribe. What happened? He went undetected."
They can't say his name though and stuff.
And then after that, he goes and invades Wakanda, and he's undetected again.
Yeah.
How? That doesn't make sense. So when that happened, I was already like, that doesn't make sense. But I mean, it's not gonna. It doesn't like break the movie.
Remember, they weren't supposed to talk about him though.
About who?
About Namor. They weren't supposed to talk about him outside of that conversation.
And that's another thing. Namor can just hear everything. Like, I'm so confused.
No, but it's a threat. It's a threat. Like,
I know, but Keith, they're in the throne room, literally talking about it.
So no, they're not like saying his name.
No, Keith, but he's saying like they're literally talking about him going undetected. What do you mean?
I get what you're saying. I mean, I don't know if like the River Tribe is like a tribe that controls like, or not controls, but like oversees.
M'Baku literally says, what happens to the River Tribe? Like where they at? Like he literally says that in that scene.
No, I know, but I'm saying like I don't know if we don't know if they can like oversee the sea
I
or
know
like it's
that's my
just the
point. Is that I
rivers.
wish I would have saw that. I wish I would have saw them try to find a
I
way to
find that
counter
more of a
Namor.
like I
But
want
instead,
this
hold
than
on,
an
hold on.
actual critique.
But instead, you know
to
what
be
they did?
honest.
They said, we're gonna go on a submarine and go into the ocean and go to Namor.
Who, Nakia?
No, Wakanda.
Oh, yeah,
That
because they
made
wanted
zero
to.
sense to
No,
me.
they wanted to catch him off guard.
No, I
They wanted
get
to
that.
strike him before he could know.
Well, they didn't really catch him off. They literally kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Got their attention.
Yeah, they kind of made them come to them. But again, why are you using his strong suit? Why are you going into the sea?
No, but they were hurting them with that sound, with those sound waves or whatever.
And again,
that's why they got on the ship.
Namora just fucks it up. Like it's like
she did.
it's like I don't know how these power sets work, how the scaling works. Like, but that was something really weird to me that they went out to the sea to Namor's territory.
Yeah, that was.
It worked out for them, but
ballsy.
That was like, what? Like,
I think the plan was very smart though. They had the sound waves, which made them fight them.
No, yeah, the plan worked out for them. And the fight was dope as fuck, especially when the Midnight Suns came in. Midnight Angels. But yeah, as far as cons, I'd say that's about the full extent of it. Again, everything else I pretty much like. The way they handled Chadwick Boseman's death, I loved it
so well. Couldn't have been better, to be honest.
Yeah. But what I didn't like is that they handled it like that, and then when Queen Ramonda died, they were like, let's do a quick montage of what we did for Chadwick Boseman. It felt kind of like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like that death just felt really weird to me. So I love the way they did Chadwick's death. It was so cool. And the opening credits were amazing. The score in this movie
silent,
is absolutely amazing. The score in I'm probably gonna rewatch this movie a lot just simply for the score. And also the little call outs that the Talokans make to like make
that was insane. Yeah, though.
Are you kidding me?
Was crazy.
When we're talking about cinematic immersion, that's what I'm talking about right there. I remember when that shit first came on in the theater.
I was like,
I thought it was the score.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I was like, is this the score? This is different.
But at the same time, it's like, that shit is creepy as fuck.
No, for real. No, that shit was creepy.
Really making these people jump off of a ship like
they're zombies.
That entire scene
that shit was crazy.
Fucking amazing.
When Atuma came out the wall, bro, I was like, oh shit. I was scared as fuck, dog. I was like, yo.
I can't wait to see what's in store next. The way they fucking ended it off with him and Namor kind of feeling a certain way about
how Namor reacted to the situation.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what Atuma does, because Atuma's, again, I'm pretty sure like Atuma can be like as strong as the Hulk near like,
bro. The fight on the bridge.
Again, I was just gonna get into that. The fight on the bridge was one of my favorites.
That fight between Atuma and Okoye, boy.
Okoye
that was hot.
I don't know how to explain it. Okoye is to me, she's just as good in this movie as the last one, but her character has it feels like it has more depth to it.
Yeah, she has an arc in this movie.
Yeah, she has a bit of an arc in this movie. But again, that action sequence on the bridge was amazing. And it really it really goes to show like Okoye can get with them. Now, granted, like they came out the water and they got vibranium too, but like Okoye don't got the fucking herb.
No, so, for real, yeah.
Right. And they're like super strength, super fat, like, and she's like 4v1. Like,
no, for real.
Like, what's up? So I'm just like, goddamn, Okoye is badass. And then, of course, when she has that talk with Queen Ramonda, it's honestly probably my favorite scene in the movie.
That's one of my favorite
next
scenes.
To the Killmonger scene is probably my. It's
that
probably
scene went so hard.
One of my favorite movies.
He's so good. He's so good as Killmonger. It's crazy.
And the way they set up Shuri's her development and her depth as a character is amazing. How they how Ramonda's kind of like what do you what do you imagine when you think of your brother, right? Because he's like, what is this like? Mama's talk about ancestral plane, and Shuri's like, that's just something made up in your head to help you like sleep at night, mom. Like that's not real. And then she asks her, she's like, what do you think of when you think of him? And she's like, I want to see the world burn. And then
Yeah.
once she hits that ancestral plane, everything is on fire. She sees Killmonger. Like it's exactly what she imagined. And then of course at the end, when you have her finally, listening to her mom, like the little ritual thing, she hears the wind blow. That shit is beautiful as hell.
I saw that as the ancestral plane again.
It wasn't the ancestral plane to me. It was the wind was kind of like how she remembers T'Challa now, like the wind. Like
no, I'm talking about in the middle of the fight when she thought of Queen Ramonda.
What are you talking about?
Right before she was gonna kill Namor.
Oh, you thought that was the
fight,
ancestral
and then
plane.
I think that is the ancestral
you think
plane.
It is?
Not the physical ancestral plane, because obviously Moon Knight has confirmed that,
but
like,
again,
it's real.
Does that mean that the ancestral? But again, is the ancestral plane a figment of your mind?
No, I think it's both, because Moon Knight proved that it's real. It's real.
That wouldn't make sense because there's different ancestral planes in Black Panther 2.
What do you mean?
So that would not make sense. Like, she went into the ancestral plane and saw Killmonger and saw everything burning, and then as her arc, like when she completes her arc, she's a different image of it. She's like her mom and T'Challa and so like I feel like
what are you talking about?
I feel like the ancestral plane is what you make up in your head, what you think the ancestral plane is in your head.
But it's also like I'm saying there's two. I'm saying there's an ancestral plane that you can visit anytime in your head, but there's also a physical ancestral plane, because Moon Knight confirmed that. What was her name? The deity, the hippo. She acknowledges, ooh, I love the Bast's ancestral plane or whatever, when she's talking about all the different ones. So like that one's it's real, but I think it's also one that you can visit in your mind.
That's another thing that's amazing to me about Shuri's character, is how, like, in the beginning she's sitting there praying to Bast,
and
to
because
help
her brother ends up dying, she just stops
but
believing in those rituals. And
and it's very relatable, because I feel like, especially everyone at that age, I feel like at some point you do question your beliefs. You do kind of, especially when shit is going south, you question whether or not there's good karma or bad karma, because why am I only getting bad karma this week? You question that shit. Like, so I love that happens. I love the way they made Namor's character kind of sympathetical. I love the way they introduced his character. I
honestly want to give Ryan Coogler like a big villain now. I want to give him like a Doctor Doom, like, and I know that's very off topic, but like, I'm sorry, I need to see him handle like a really big villain. I think he's 2 for 2 for like one of the some of the best villains in comic book movies. Like, and that's crazy. Like,
fact. Nah, you're not lying. But yeah, when it comes to the shit I like most of this movie. Like, this movie was amazing to me, from the score to the cinematography in this movie is
one of the
better than the first movie.
MCU looking.
Honestly, this is like a top 3 MCU movie when it comes to cinematography.
Yeah.
I mean, the only movies I would probably put over this is, I don't even think I would put Eternals over this. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because there are some scenes in Eternals that aren't very, breathtaking or cinematic. Like, damn near every fucking scene in this movie looks amazing. Like, when they went to Ironheart's little dorm thing, it looked like, just sitting in that room, the way the lighting would, like, it looked amazing. Like,
what would you put over it?
In
terms of cinematography.
In terms of cinematography, I would probably put something like probably like Multiverse of Madness.
I would say
maybe even something like maybe even like a Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. Maybe low-key.
I would say Guardians too, honestly. I think Guardians 2 has some of the
I
best
don't think me
cinematography
personally, I
out
don't
of the
think
entire MCU.
it's beautiful from fucking start to finish. I will say I wasn't as emotional as I thought I would be, but
It
there
caught
was
me at the
definitely
end.
yeah,
It
there was
caught me at the
definitely some
end.
emotion there. But yeah, the action was dope as fuck. I mean, to me, there was better action in this than Black Panther 1.
No,
So the action
absolutely.
was dope as fuck. Namor,
Absolutely.
every time he was fighting, it looked dope as shit. I'm definitely gonna go rewatch this movie again. If I had to rate it out of 10, I would say it's like a fucking 8.5 or an 8. You know, I would
Nice.
but definitely gotta go rewatch this movie soon. But yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that kind of gave me some hiccups here and there, but overall, that movie is it's a blessing, man. Honestly, the fact that Ryan Coogler was even able to make this movie, because to be honest,
Yeah.
he didn't really have to.
He did not have
So
to.
yeah, and the fact that he was able to do it so fast on the dot is that's just a testament to how talented that man is, man.
I think I'm gonna keep it short because we're like at an hour and 36.
Okay.
But yeah, I liked pretty much everything. I thought Everett Ross's inclusion was pretty justified at the start, but like towards the second half of the movie, the film kept
I didn't
going
really
back
feel
to
like it
him
needed
and
him at all.
Valentina. I think he was kind of necessary at first
He was
because
necessary
he's
for the
the
final
only
joke,
no
for the final joke,
for the final
the
joke.
colonizer in chains. He was
Okay.
necessary for that.
Okay. I just thought he did feel necessary because the Wakandans were trying to get Riri and they couldn't find her and they needed Everett because obviously he's connected to the UN and the US government and you know he owes them one. They saved his life and yeah, I feel like if there's anyone they would go to, it would be him. But I felt like after they found Riri and took her, everything after that, like every time it went back to him, it was like, why?
And he was kind of trying to like stay low anyways. Like he was
Yeah,
trying to
yeah, yeah. He's like
kind of
trying to
like stay
hide it.
away from that anyway. So it's like, why even?
Him and Valentina like pretty useless towards like from like the second act on. I thought they were useless.
To me, Valentina was completely useless. Like
Yeah,
you could take her out
yeah,
this
yeah.
movie
I
and
really don't
it would make
know,
no difference.
but yeah, I thought you do feel the length. It is you know it's packed. It packs a lot. So like the length is kind of justified. I do think there's like a little bit of fat you could have cut off, but
And it
in
slows down at some
general,
point.
yeah, yeah. And I also feel like we and maybe this is just a me thing. I felt like we could have explored that world of Talokan a little bit more.
No, totally. I agree.
I
That's
felt
exactly
like
why
it was
the
really
person I
quick,
brought up
and
was
maybe
the
that's
name more
because
solo.
they're doing like a spin-off or something. Because I do
I
expect
hope
to
so.
see some more of that in the future. But
Fingers crossed, man.
there wasn't much that I disliked. I loved all the performances across the board. I think Shuri's character arc and development in this movie blew me away. I think specifically, what's kind of underrated is Ironheart's inclusion in here. Now, a lot of people felt like she wasn't necessary when I thought she, number one, is an integral part of the plot. But on top of that, I feel like when you think of this movie, all the side characters got like a bump forward. They all took main character roles now. And I feel like with Chadwick's passing and T'Challa not being in this movie, Shuri's now taken T'Challa's place as the main character. And so you're like, who's filling Shuri's place then? It's Riri. And I feel like from that first movie, Chadwick or T'Challa and Shuri had this real like Chadwick or T'Challa had this like older brother relationship with Shuri, and I feel like in this movie Shuri took that place and was like the older sister of Riri, and I kind of liked that. Me personally, yeah, I feel like Riri
Especially
like learned
while
a
they were
lot,
in
especially
Talokan
like
during that
after
shit.
the battle when they like meet each other back and like they're saying bye. I'm like, man, Riri's probably learned so much just being in Wakanda and using the technology.
Like her actual character. I don't really know much.
This
other
is not
than,
an
like,
Ironheart
she's a genius.
movie.
No, I know, but
Okay,
like
I'm
even
just
if she's a genius, I wish I would like just like little yearbook photos of her fucking in her 5 years old in a high school class, like you know, little shit like that. Like it just does a little bit more for a character. You kind of just she's a genius. You don't. I mean, I don't know anything about her relation to Tony Stark. I mean, I know she's supposed to be like smarter than Tony Stark.
We gotta cut this short. We're at we're almost at 2 hours. So yeah, to give my quick thoughts, I absolutely loved everything. The cinematography, the music. Namor is, and I've sat with the movie. He's top 3 for me. He's a top 3 MCU villain. I think the only 2 above him are Gabi and Thanos. Those are the only 2 I put above Namor. And thought the performances across the board was amazing. Ruth Carter comes back once again and destroys it in the costume design department, especially for Talokan, for the people of Talokan. Amazing. World building, amazing. Ryan Coogler continues to break fucking boundaries in Hollywood for people of color, giving us an actual voice. I felt proud walking in that theater, being able to represent both the African American and Latino side. That's just something that was amazing. And I mean, as for the post-credit scene, beautiful ending, just like graceful. That'd be the cutest fucking kid I've ever seen in my life. It brought a tear to my eye. Like, purpose, the movie as a whole was a great, not only tribute, but it was like a celebration of Chadwick, and then also it was a great celebration
all about him
within the movie.
All about him.
And I've said this in my review, but movies say dedicated to and in memory of at the end of their movie, sometimes when like a member of their staff passes. But like this movie was actually dedicated to and in memory of, like the whole movie was
it felt
about
like a movie about his passing.
Exactly.
It felt like that.
It did feel like something was missing from this movie, this like empty hole. And I mean that in a sincere way. Chadwick is gone. And while we would and should continue to celebrate his life and have him impact, people in the future, there is a hole there, and there is something kind of missing in a very sad but also sincere way of that movie, where you're like, oh, there was this charm, and now it's this very dramatic and almost like it has this really moody energy, and that benefited the movie. It got you in the right mind space. The intentions were there. Everything was done good. Everyone that worked on this movie, just hats off to them. They created an amazing product to me was better than the first, and the first was already an icon. Like, just it started a franchise. It gave people a voice. It put Black Panther on the map. And black actors on the map. It put Chadwick on the map when he was an amazing actor before that. So this movie did a lot of good. It did plenty of great, with a couple bumps in the road. But every movie has that. But guys, that's episode 1 of the Double Feature podcast. As you see below, you guys can send us questions to answer during the podcast here, right there. Over at that link. And guys, comment below your thoughts on all these topics. We'd love to discuss with you guys. We'll try to do this every week, and hopefully, like I said at the beginning, we get to the point where we can just do this live. That way I don't gotta spend an hour to 2 uploading a 2-hour video.
Oh yeah, and once we start going live, baby, this shit is gonna start flying off the shelves. It's gonna be podcast.
Expect clips from the podcast being uploaded as shorts and stuff. Expect even like extension videos maybe soon. Like, as I always do, I do my reviews, I do my video essays and my reactions. Don't be surprised if you also get a notification for a trailer reaction from my brother or a movie review from my brother. Like, don't be surprised. This channel is all movie love, and we're gonna start really leaning heavily into that. But yeah, guys,
_double feature on all platforms. Soon we will be posting shorts and clips
everywhere,
on TikTok and Instagram, tweeting out on Twitter and stuff, our opinions and such. So definitely go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, _double feature.
And follow us on Twitter. That's where we're mainly active in the movie space, mostly pop culture, but also just the movie space in general. Our handles are both under our screens. And I'm just this was in the making for a while, and it was started for a while, and we finally getting it up and running. And depending on your reception, we'll be deciding what we do in the future, whether it's
all up to you, motherfuckers.
Exactly.
It's all up to you guys.
Up to you guys. But without further ado, guys,
show up. man.
I'm going to send you guys on your way. Once again, follow us on all our socials. Just check the link in the description. Any support anywhere, even my Patreon, would mean the world. And yeah, expect a lot more content soon, a lot more reactions soon. Got to start being more active on YouTube. Avatar's on its way, so expect a lot coming up shortly.
Hype is through the roof,
Hype
boys.
is through the roof. But yeah, guys, it's double feature. My name's 𝙎𝙬𝙎, and that was KJ.
Let's go, boys.
Peace, everyone.
Peace.